Hi, this is Kevin, and today I'm going to show my American Civil War Confederate Army from 1861 to 1865. It's just like the Union one, same size, large, with max flexibility. But anyway, when you're painting these and I'm showing these, it like really hits home because I live close to 7 different Civil War battlefields. I can see one right outside my house. And I know the struggle and the battles and the carnage that this war actually caused into the psyche even of the people that live here, the Georgians. And so painting this was really honoring those that fought here on both sides. It is a part of American culture. It's a part of who we are as a people. So I've humbly presented. But I hope that you enjoy my painting style, enjoy what I've put together. And it's a beautiful army in 15 millimeter. It's not epic from Warlord Games. It's a classic 15 millimeter army painted to the very best of my ability to represent the men who fought in this large conflict. If you see something that you think that I could do better, please write me and let me know, because I enjoy hearing from people and saying, look, this didn't look right or that, and I certainly will jump in and try to fix it as quickly as possible. But I really hope that you enjoy a piece of my people's history, the history of the Civil War and this conflict that we as a nation went through. I know everybody around the world has their own struggles of their country, of their peoples, and what unites them. And this is just one that united us. All right, let's take a look at this army. It's pretty good size, just like the Union. It's all Old Glory figures, a few Blue Moon mixed in, and but it was painted over a period of time. But I really like how this army looks on the table. It's a little bit different than the Union, right? From the standpoint that the Confederacy generally only carried one flag. In some cases, I put 2 flags on. Painting them is, of course, not as easy as the Union, because you're using lots of butternuts and grays and blues and blankets, and I took a lot of time to make sure that I painted in individual blankets, that I put in enough browns and grays, and I think that it really looks like a rebel Confederate horde. And I was really liked how it turned out, even just the general nature of the figures and placement. And you can see here I've placed or I've mounted everything on a 40 by 40 base. So that's for me, I really enjoy the look of a 40 by 40. It feels a little bit better in the hand. It's got some weight to it. And I've also found that there's less breakage. When you have it on the small Fire and Fury stands, people tend to grab and at the figures, versus a 40 by 40, you have something to grab, see? So I like that a little bit better. But it's how I organized it, I really didn't. This army is put together for mass flexibility. So if you played Fire and Fury, I could take one of those command stands, and if it was an 8-man unit, I just put 8 stands together. Or I could say in Black Powder that 4 stands is a regiment. Or I could do a large regiment and put 2 together, or 6 stands. As you can see from this, there's 12 units there, or 4 to a commander, 4 and 4, and then a divisional commander. This could be a brigade. This could also be a division. That could be a regiment. This could be a corps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these groups of 12. So you can have 2 full Confederate corps here. You could have 1 corps. So it really is, depending on the scenario, you just scale down the terrain, right? And I've got, enough guns and batteries for everything, enough commanders. This is, of course, General Lee up front, but I also have other commanders. I've got Johnston right here. I've got Jackson, and I've got Longstreet. So they're all here. It's actually kind of fun just to put them all together. And of course, this group over here is more of your Confederate specialty. So I've got, Louisiana Tigers right there. I've got cadets and Marines. I've got 2 regiments from Alabama, the Alabama Blues. I've got Zouave regiments that were raised. Some of the different colored Zouaves with yellow hats and dark blue. I've got VMI boys. I've got Mississippians, and not a lot of different specialty troops, but I think kind of enough to give it maybe an early war flavor. And then, of course, just the normal troops that I was showing before. These are all mixed in. Everything's pretty much standard: grays, browns, splattering of a little bit of blue. It actually turned out pretty nice. I've got a nice sized cavalry troop. This has five squadrons. Then I always have, of course, the dismounted off to the side, and then I've got another 5 towards the rear there. So 10 squadrons, or I could do several regiments with all of their corresponding dismounted men. So anyway, I think it turned out okay. Yeah, I also wanted to show off something here. I did buy the Glory Hallelujah Back powder book. I really enjoyed it. It was extremely well written. I also like Fire and Fury, and I really like Pickett's Charge. So really, all 3 of them work well. I've played all 3, and they're really good. But one of the books in my library that I enjoy the most is from William Scaife. He was a surgeon, and he wrote these books about the different campaigns. This one here is about Atlanta, and of course I am partial because I live not too far from Kennesaw Mountain from the battle. I can see the tops of the hills from my home if I step outside, and I've walked every inch of this. And what I like about what he's done with his maps is that he's overlaid it with today's road systems. So you can actually see the modern day roads and where it actually happened, and he kind of breaks it down, which I really enjoy. So you can see he goes into a lot of detail. You can see exactly where it was and kind of walk those fields, the Bushy Mountain line. But his writing style is writing it from a first person's perspective. He was a surgeon, and during that time, and these are some of his works afterwards. They're really fantastic. So mostly about Atlanta, the Battle of Allatoona in Tennessee, and Sherman's March to the Sea. But if you can ever get a copy of this is invaluable. Really makes great for gaming. And but yeah, this was my first armies, the Union and Confederacy, and it means something to me because I live here, and I'm surrounded by the history of this war, and it's still here today. I can walk it, see it, feel it. It still is burned into the psyche of the people that live here in Georgia, and it touches me. So we can see it and feel it. Probably much like most countries, they have their struggles, but this was ours, and it was a terrible struggle. And hopefully that will never ever happen again. And most historians and people that really understand things understand what war really does. And I hope that it just stays here in miniature and in the history books. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I've got a lot of different flags in here, and this was a lot of work, but and most of these are hand-painted flags. Some of them came from the flag dude, but mostly they're hand-painted. And yeah, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my video and what a Confederate Army might look like on the table. If you want me to show anything more, please let me know. I don't mind doing other things. I'm just not very good at photography, and I just have my little camera, and it shakes a little bit, but anyway, I'm just trying to give people just an idea. I think Old Glory figures are phenomenal. They're really, really nice. I know a lot of people are doing the epic scale, which is also good too. It's just I just happen to have these, and of course with these, what you're always having to do is do what I'm doing here, is straightening out bayonets and guns. Anyway, thank you for listening to me rambling and talking about presenting my Confederate Army. I appreciate you just watching and having comments and maybe using it or talking about it and building and painting one yourself. But thank you for just watching and writing me from time to time. Thanks a lot.